But I tell you, when you get out on the court, all the talking in the world isn't going to help.
Do you really think that this match should be the symbol of the women's struggle against the men?
Absolutely. We've chosen the gladiators. Billie Jean King for the women and Bobby Riggs for all the male guys all over the world.
Bobby Riggs today would be a laughingstock, but unfortunately he wasn't back then.
Oh, no way he's going to tie me up. You know, I've been around long enough. All that hot air isn't going to make one bit of difference.
She's psyched out already. She's coming apart at the seams.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show. That's just a little taste, just a little clip of what you could expect tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on PBS. Check your local listings as American Masters Billie Jean King will take to the airwaves. And joining us right now is filmmaker James Erskine. And James, welcome to the show, sir.
Good, great to be on it. Thank you.
Well, thank you. So we have, yesterday we had the women's champion, Serena Williams, again wins the U.S. Open. Just about as we're talking now, the men are just getting underway in the men's finals. And tomorrow, this piece on Billie Jean King airs, and it's the 40th anniversary of what we heard there. We heard from Bobby Riggs. We heard from Billie Jean King. It was the battle of the sexes, and I can't believe it was 40 years ago. Billie Jean King, in an exhibition tennis match at the Astrodome, beat Bobby Riggs. And I don't know, with all she accomplished in women's tennis, is that what Billie Jean King is most known for today, do you think?
I think Billie Jean's known for so much. I think she's known for her standing up for women in general, as well as women's tennis. I think she's known as an excellent athlete. I think she's also known as for her stance on gay rights and her private life. And I think, you know, she is heralded at all levels of the country because she has made a significant contribution to America, you know, with her life, not just as a sporting hero, but as somebody who's made the world a better place for a lot of people.
Now, tell me why Billie Jean King was chosen. I believe this series, American Masters, has been on the air since 1986, so 96, 06. So we're talking about a long time here. First sports figure?
Yeah, I think American Masters is conceived as a cultural series, and I think, you know, perhaps in the 80s and 90s people respected athletes less as cultural figures. I think sports has often been a case of what's in front of our face today, and tomorrow is a different host of stars, and perhaps there's few athletes that actually have an impact on the cultural landscape as well as the sporting landscape, you know, the people that actually change the way people think about themselves as well as thinking about the game. And I think that's why Billie Jean King is an excellent choice to be the first sporting figure on American Masters. And I think hopefully she won't be the last figure, but I think, you know, the stories need to be big enough to kind of touch, you know, have people that have touched people's lives beyond their excellence at an activity.
Was Martina Navratilova interviewed in this piece that we're going to see Tuesday night?
Martina's not interviewed in
No, well, I find that interesting, and maybe you could, because it struck me conspicuous by her absence. When I read the names of people who were interviewed, like Chris Evert and Margaret Court, Maria Sharapova, Venus Williams, Serena Williams, and I was going to ask you, first of all, why Billie Jean and not Martina? Was it because Billie Jean was the forerunner to Martina? Was it because of the Bobby Riggs match? Did that play into it? And then I'll ask you a separate question, which I'll ask you now. You could address both. We'll make this like a presidential press conference where you have to remember both questions. So why Billie Jean and not Martina? And why no Martina? Is there bad blood between them, or she just wasn't available?
There's no bad blood between Martina and Billie Jean King. The reason Billie Jean King is, first of all, she's an American by birth. Secondly, she is the person who almost single-handedly, although not single-handedly, created women's tennis. Martina was an excellent tennis player, but she hasn't changed American society, American hearts and minds in the way Martina, in the way that Billie Jean King has. You know, she was not there in the 60s and the 70s struggling out. I think she came to America in the early 70s and benefited from Billie Jean King's legacy, and I think she would acknowledge that. But the film was very much focused on certain periods. You can't tell every story forensically from cradle to grave, and in fact, we were very much focused on the period up to and the climax of the Bobby Riggs match, the Battle of the Sexes.
Right.
Watched tennis match that changes hearts and minds. You can see a man being beaten by a woman at a man's game. That's pretty significant if that hasn't happened before, and it's incredibly significant as a media event. I mean, sport had never penetrated the cultural consciousness in that way, because it couldn't, because the prevalence of television, sporting events were just seen as sort of lesser. This was actually something being fought as a question of civil rights. I think it's unprecedented. I think it's difficult to think of anything that followed.
Well, let me ask you about that. And we're talking to filmmaker James Erskine, and he put together American Masters Billie Jean King. It's on PBS tomorrow night, Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Check your local listings. Bud Collins has come out and said that Bobby Riggs threw that match because he owed the mob money. And he went in depth with a whole, bunch of what he considers documentation, saying that there's a very good possibility that Bobby Riggs lost that. Is that lost that on purpose? Is that addressed at all?
I don't think Bud Collins did say that. I think ESPN ran a story from some guy in Florida who claimed to have overheard a conversation from some gangsters saying that Bobby Riggs was going to throw the match, which to me has no substance. We investigated the story pretty thoroughly, and the idea of some throwing the match. Bobby says he didn't throw the match. Everybody that knows him said he didn't throw the match, and it was close to him. There's a kind of, there's a neat theory. Bobby Riggs is a gambler. He throws the match if you want to believe that he couldn't possibly be beaten by a woman. But which is the more convincing? That a woman could beat a man, or that Bobby was involved in elaborate gambling with the mafia to throw a match when he stood to make millions if he won. I mean, millions. I mean, Jerry Parenchio, who's the guy that arranged the match, I interviewed and spoke to him. He's the first interview ever with him. This is a guy who, it's incredibly important. He promoted Ali and Frazier at the Ali Frazier fights. He runs Univision. I asked him, what was in it for Bobby? Why wouldn't he have, why could he not possibly have thrown the match? He's like, Bobby could make millions. He had contracts lined up all around the world. This was his moment. He wasn't worth anything before. He wasn't worth anything to go to people and say, I'm going to be able to go and take on this person or that person. I mean, it's just nonsense, to be honest. It's just nonsense, and it doesn't deserve airtime.
Okay, so you said, well, I'm not the only one giving it airtime. CNN gave it a whole lot of airtime. They had Bud Collins on. Maybe I misunderstood what was being said there, because I was under the impression that he was saying that maybe he was saying exactly what you're saying and dispelled that notion. But that is a story that's out there. And finally, let me ask you this: when it comes to the equal prize money, which Billie Jean King was so instrumental in gaining, why should women get the same amount of prize money when they only play the best 2 out of 3 and men play the best 3 out of 5? I never understood that.
Okay, well, let's look at this question. Why shouldn't women get it?
Well, because they're not playing the same amount of tennis. So why should the prize money be the same?
When you go to a music concert, do you evaluate the ticket price on the length of it? Do you do the same on a movie? Of course you don't. Women would play. Anyway, women would play 5 sets. It just can't be scheduled that way. If you ask anyone, wait.
It can't. You're telling me it can't be scheduled that way?
Yeah, the events don't schedule it. That's why. If you ask the Women's Tennis Association, they will tell you that women will play 5 sets. It's the tournament organizers that elect how it's run.
Well, I got a feeling that, I'd like to see documentation of that, but I will be very interested to watch tomorrow night American Masters Billie Jean King on PBS. And James, thank you for your time and for answering the questions. Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, folks, I appreciate him coming on. If that's true, if women want to play 5 sets and it can't be fit into the schedule of tournaments,